Yo, 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 mic test. Press one in the chat if you can hear me. Uh, Looks like we have a couple first time chat viewers. Desk Glass, welcome. And Sam Jupe and Hungry Gremlo, welcome, welcome. So yeah, it's gonna be a pretty small stream today, but I wanted to keep the audience like small. I decided not to alert this one on Twitter because I've been getting a lot of hate that kind of got to my head. But I'm pretty okay with it now. Just because like we had a really nice run with those three stocks, right? They all went like over 40% in a day. And then obviously, I'll be called a pump and dumper, but hey, I told you guys to risk manage, and a lot of you guys made money on that LGVN play that we did. The timing on that one could not have been any better. So just to recap, I think we talked about this last stream on Thursday too. We bought this one right before close. Let me just take a look at it here. This stock is, yeah, this stock is a roller coaster, as Kudero says here. So this one has a lot of range, and with stocks that have a lot of range, if you play it correctly, you can make a lot of money. So I actually bought this right over here, and then when I alerted it, this thing ran up. Um, I don't know. It's a low float stock, and a lot of people are watching me. If I was to buy into my own alerts, I would probably just wait a little bit. That's what I would do. Like I told you guys, my average was at like 1798. And then this thing went up with a bunch of volume. If it was me, like following another cat dude, I would probably just wait until it comes down and then potentially buy. And then we had this really nice spike up here, and when we were talking about it on stream, I was like telling you guys, yep, I'm gonna scale out here because I'm happy with this gain. And then I let the rest of my shares ride, and I even set a green stop loss and took a nap on Friday, and then I ended up selling here as soon as the announced closing of the offering, because I was expecting a PR for that to boost up the stock price like how it usually does. But yeah, we made a nice gain on LGVN. It was up 40% on the day. Let me just take a look here. Okay, yeah, we have a nice audience here, 65 people, which is half the amount when I tell people on Twitter. So this is good. First time chat viewer, Gally Mech 1, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so it looks like this is everyone from Discord, or at least the people that are active right now. So on Monday, there's a couple things that are going to be hot. CFVI is obviously going to be a very hot stock. I am probably going to be trading this one. I'm going to be scalping it. I'm probably not even going to alert this one at all, just because when I scalp trades, I'm going to be in and out like within seconds, and I usually load up with size. So CFVI, I know for a fact that this is going to get a whole bunch of volume, just like how DWAC was. So I'm going to scalp this, get in, get out, and just completely ride this one. And then ArtX, you guys know I'm already holding this one. What I see in this one is a nice options chain, and we're actually kind of stair-stepping here. It reminds me of the early days of Prague, right? So this is a healthy chart pattern. So if you guys remember from my previous streams, when I say what a healthy chart pattern is, I'll just kind of draw it on paint here. So this is what I see with ArtX, is when it goes like this, it makes a high and then it breaks out of that high, and then after that it tends to consolidate at that high before making another one. So what I mean by that, I'll just so this is an area of resistance, right? I kind of drew this terribly, but hold on. I'm gonna redo my drawing. I don't like that. So what I see with RDX is this, and I'm pretty much trading the momentum, and I'm trading the momentum and the options chain, and I don't have calls in this though. I don't have calls in this. But usually this is a healthy chart pattern. Still kind of a terrible drawing. But if this was on a larger time frame, so for example, maybe 1 hour, maybe 10 minutes or something like that, what ends up happening is you have this area of resistance. It pulls back because you have some short sellers that recognize this resistance, or profit takers that recognize this as a potential resistance. And it pulls back to this area, which is a new swing low. And then it breaks through this. And this is usually where you'll see some buyers who trade out breakout trades, and this is where people, might think about shorting it, thinking that this could be a double top, but then they end up having to cover when it breaks past, and that's why you have breakout traders that trade above a certain price point. So on Twitter, sometimes I say, oh, if this stock claims $10, then I'm gonna buy 10.05 or something like that. So I made a bunch of tweets like that in the past, and that's essentially what I'm doing, is because I know some short sellers are going to be there, and it's providing me liquidity so that I can actually average up on my position and at the same time trade the breakout. So what ended up happening here, and this is what I'm thinking, this is just from my experience, is that now after you break out here, if it pulls back to the previous high, I really like that, because you'll kind of see some consolidation. Because this is where short sellers tend to open up a position, and if they cover there, maybe some of them are going to try break even if they decided to hold. So it kind of creates a floor, and this whole entire thing here is, we're on a larger time frame. So this is ARDX. Sometimes it's going to be in the 10 minute, sometimes it's going to be in the 30 minute. See, as we can see, this whole stair stepping pattern here, even on the 1 hour. So you gotta keep in mind that this is gonna be not a designated price point. It's gonna be a range, right? It's gonna be a range, not a designated price target. So that's what I'm essentially trading on ARTX. And what you actually see when you go to those lows is you're gonna have a bit of consolidation, which is what I like to see. So you'll kind of see some consolidation on the lower time frames, and then when you zoom out a little bit, you'll see that nice stair stepping pattern. So as we go from the 5 to the 10, even to the 30 minute, but with ARTX, I think we'll get it. We have this really nice volume here. What bearish things are about it is the volume is going down, but this stock reminds me of the early days of WTRH. Right, we had this really, really nice stair stepping pattern, and it's the same thing here. It started from about 80 cents, and then it went all the way to like about 2.3, and it filled this gap as well. So, and it reminds me of Prague. It reminds me of Prague as well, because if we look here, when we found Prague at like what, 80 cents or so. It had two gaps that had to be filled, actually. I think I remember. Oh no, just the one gap. So this is what a lot of people were looking at, and usually when you have a gap, you tend to have more diamond handlers. I just noticed that from my experience. So you tend to have people holding a lot longer, just because they're playing that gap. There's a lot of swing traders that like playing gaps, and I am one of those. So yeah. And then I think I already talked about CFVI. Yeah, I already told you guys about my plans for this one. I'm going to be in and out. And then since you guys are, fam here, the one stock that I didn't even talk about that I think might be a really, really good day trade. Like, I think, and I don't want to talk about this because like first of all, I don't have a position yet. And second of all, I gotta see how it plays out, because, and this is I feel like it's gonna be like a 80% chance that this is gonna be green, and I hope it stays flat in the pre-market so I can like probably buy it. If I don't want, if CFVI gaps up way too much, I don't want to touch it. Like if it's up 40% already, I don't wanna touch it. Um, but the stock that I think is gonna go insane on Monday, and this one's gonna be one that no one's gonna expect, I think, is FUN. FUN. And the reason why I say this is because whenever there's Trump news, okay, this thing goes insane. This goes insane. So this is going to be like a really good day trade where you can kind of like pump and dump it. The reason why I say this, guys, is just take a look here. Take a look here, okay? I'm just going to write this on Paint. And I'm not going to talk about this on Twitter or anything like that. This is just for you guys. If we look at DWAC, right? If we look at DWAC, remember when this thing was like in the initial days of DWAC, this thing was going up maybe like it only went like about 50 to 100% in a day, right? And then so keep in mind this was the first. Actually, I think I can type it better. I don't want to. I don't want to draw. Okay, so okay, I gotta put this up bigger, maybe 72. Hopefully you guys can see this. Is this text size big enough here? DWAC. You guys can see that, right? Okay, perfect. So when DWAC had two runs, okay? So first run for DWAC, and then second run, oops, I can't type. Second run for DWAC, okay? And not a lot of people are talking about this right now, but for the first one for DWAC, obviously we know that this one was insane. Let me just take a look at what it did. So just keep in mind that DWAC is a complete outlier. CFVI is never gonna get to this level, just because, you know, you already have people bag holding DWAC. You already have people bag holding a whole bunch of other stocks, and it's not fresh money, if that makes sense. So expect, like it. I bet my left nut it's not gonna reach us 175 like for CFVI. I would bet like my entire life on it. If it does, then you know, this comment didn't age well. But anyways, so for DWAC, right? So this went 300% in one day to a max of like 13,000%. But this one was nuts. So we're just gonna say for the first run for DWAC, it went about 100% plus. Okay. And then for the second run of DWAC, okay, because remember, they had news about this $1 billion investment for DWAC, and I think this one just ran a pre-market. I wrote a Reddit post about this saying that it's probably going to fade out, and I was right about it. Let me just see. I gotta calculate the percentage gains here. Okay, so yeah, this one ran from 36 to about 59, 39. So this one went about 50%, and then it faded for the rest of the day like I thought it would. Okay, so this one went like 50%. Okay. And then now if we look at the first run of FUN, this thing was insane. I think it had like a 3,000% in one day or some shit like that. I don't know if you guys remember that. Like this thing went to like 22 bucks or something, right? So many people got fucked on this one because it had that insane halt. Wait, what? 550? That doesn't sound right. It was, where am I? This, what the hell? Where am I on the chart? I gotta refresh this. Hold on. What is going on with my Weeble? My Weeble's messing up a little bit. I just gotta zoom out here. Oh, there's an ad. I'm so sorry. I think there shouldn't be an ad unless you just started to get in. Because I have the ads set at the lowest frequency, as I showed you guys in the last stream. I just have ads just to get the affiliate thing. But are you guys experiencing ads right now? Because you shouldn't be. you only should get ads in the beginning of the stream, and then if we pass an hour. Okay, perfect. So Albo, it just probably means that you just joined the stream, and that's why you got the ad. But then for here, it's just no ads. Yeah, yeah. That's why. It's because you refresh. Yeah, no worries. Okay, so anyways, for FUN, we so this went, yeah, this went 2000%. This one, this stock went 2000%, and then everyone got fucked with those halts. So we'll just say 2000%. So and then the second run for FUN, this thing went, I think, 40%. Hold on, I gotta calculate this more correctly because I know fun was higher. Let me just go back to DWAC real quick. I remember fun being 40% strictly because I had it on my watch list. So this is not correct. It's not from this bottom, it's from this close. So the candle is from this close all the way up to there, which is a 23% gain. Okay. So this was a 23% gain. This is all after hours, okay? This is all after hours. Okay. So if you can see what I'm trying to say here, is that whenever DWAC or any Trump stock runs, FUN tends to run even harder in terms of percentage gain. So that's why I'm saying FUN is kind of going under the radar all the time. And if we look at, and this is even insane, this is like crazier to me. If you look at the warrants for fun, look at it. It's up 20% in the after hours, and the stock price hasn't caught up yet. And usually, guys, when the warrants go up, sometimes the stock price, it tends to follow through more often than not. So that's why I think FUN is probably going to be a sleeper. Like, a lot of people aren't going to know about this one. And if it stays flat tomorrow, I'm probably going to buy this only for a day trade. Okay, guys? Because with these Trump stocks, you want to get in and you want to get out quickly. Like, get your profit. And if you want, you can like sell half or put a trailing stop loss or do whatever you want to do and let it ride. Because that's what I did with LGVN, right? When this thing had 40% gain, obviously you want to take some profit. Like, if you aren't taking profit after it goes 40%, you're kind of being greedy. You are kind of being greedy. If you look at the stock we're talking about, this is not a Tesla. This is not an Apple. This is not a Facebook. You know what I mean? These are not blue chip stocks. These are stocks that are very volatile and are not going to continue going higher and higher. Like, I know for a fact that anyone who talks bad about a stock, if it's going down, you will get shit on social media. Like, anyone who's a bear, you will get shit on for some reason. It's just kind of how the media works nowadays. But the truth of the fact is, these stocks, these kind of stocks don't go up forever, right? I know in the moment it's very easy to say, okay, yeah, my stock is up 40%. Hell yeah, I'm gonna go for 100% multi-bagger, blah blah blah. But you know, with any stock that I'm in, I am actually scaling out, and I'm letting some shares ride. Because if you aren't taking profit, someone else will take profit for you. Yes, paper hand, yes, this, that, yes, hodl, diamond hand, blah, blah, blah. You can say all that stuff, but at the end of the day, green is green. You know what I mean? So that's just my little take on these kind of things, but FU1 is definitely going to be a sleeper, I think. I'm not going to talk about this. I just got to see how it trades because I don't know whether or not if we are in the scenario where like the tide lifts all boats, or if we are in a pump and dump cycle. So just to kind of reiterate what I meant by that pump and dump cycle, let me just do this real quick. So if you guys remember the EV pump and dump cycle, right? We went from like Tesla all the way to Lucid, all the way to, I think it was like GGPI, all the way to SCV. Oh wait, I think Rivian was in here, right? And then it went to, I think, like AUR or some shit like that. I forgot what the ticker was called. But this was an EV pump and dump cycle. EV pump and dump cycle. Okay. And what ended up happening in these pump and dump cycles was like Tesla went red, and then Lucid went green, and then Lucid went red, and then Rivian went green. You know what I mean? Like it's the transfer of money from one ticker to the other, with the preceding ticker being red. So that's and then that's like the pump and dump cycle within a sector. But then sometimes you'll have a healthy like you'll have a healthy thing with like it depends on the sector, right? So for example, the weed sector, whenever the weed sector is pumped, all the weed stocks are pumped. So you'll have like TLRY, you'll have something else, I forgot what it was called. There's so many. I think MSOS was one. I think this is this is cannabis. So whenever so that's a healthy move within a sector if all boats are being lifted. And sometimes for EVs, sometimes they all go at once, or sometimes it's from one EV to the next. So you just gotta find out how the money is flowing. You gotta analyze everything. And with right now, obviously, you had okay. So let me just put this right here. So the thing you want to know for this one is that money flowing from one ticker to another. Okay. And then you'll have another case where like the tide lifts all boats. So what I mean by that is, money flowing into all tickers in a sector. So what I mean by that, money flowing into all tickers in a sector. So for example, for crypto, you have like Mara, Riot, Bitfarm, Hut. All of these stocks go up together instead of it being one by one and one to the next and one to that. And then you have like your weed sector. For example, MSOS, TLRY, things like that. And then obviously sometimes you'll have the EVs where all the boats are being lifted. So Tesla, Lucid, maybe even Rivian. But you gotta watch out if you're in the pump and dump cycle, or if you're in the case where the tide lifts all boats. So right now for the Trump stocks, you have DWAC, you have I'll just remove that. You have DWAC, you have CFVI, which is new, you have FUN, you have CRTD, you have Mark, you have a whole bunch of these Trump stocks. So at one point, the Trump stocks were in the tide that lifts all boats. This is where we were previously, okay? Whenever one of these stocks ran, all of them ran. That's what we saw with the second initial pump with DWAC, okay? Because this one went up in the after hours, and then what happened? The tide lifts all boats. So it was in that it was in this sentiment. So, oh yeah, Bean. Thank you, Hedek. Yeah, Bean was in there as well. So I'll add in Bean. So this is where we were. Okay, for the first pump for the Trump stocks, and the second pump for the Trump stock, we were in the tide that lifts all boats. But then coming Monday, I don't know where we are right now. Like I have to assess where we are. Are we gonna be in the pump cycle, where it goes from one to the next, or are we going to be in, again for the third time, the tide that lifts all boats? So you just got to kind of watch out for that. And I think we might be in the pump cycle. So if we are in the pump cycle, I'm probably not going to open a position on FUN. And the reason why I'm saying that it's probably going to not be in the pump cycle is because if we look at the trading action or the price action for DWAC, it's kind of flat, right? Like you would expect that the main Trump stock DWAC, like the main, like this is the big dog. Like this is this is the big dongus right here. Everything else should be lower, right? If we were to compare this to crypto, DWAC should be Bitcoin, and everything else should be a crypto shitcoin, and then maybe CFEI is going to be compared to Ethereum. But you know what I mean by that. So just because CFEI went off, CFEI went off in the after hours, but all the other Trump stocks unfortunately didn't. So I gotta see how Monday plays out to see whether or not I want to play these Trump stocks. But for what was really surprising to me is that the warrants for fun was up 20%, and more often than not, the stock price tends to follow through after. So that's my little take on the whole Trump scenario. So yeah, yeah, it is low volume, but still someone is buying something. So that's why we just gotta keep it on watch. You gotta keep it on watch. Magnum Dong Opus, brother, love you. Do you have any thought on Reddit IPO? What was the stock for that? Was it IPOF? I think I haven't looked into the Reddit IPO. Was it this one, or am I mistaken? Unless they're actually or doing a real IPO, or is it through SPACs? I haven't looked at it. But if I were to guess for the Reddit IPO, I think it's gonna be massive, massive in terms of it's gonna tank, and then it's probably gonna go up again. Oh, okay, a real IPO. Yeah, yeah. I think then in that case, I think it's gonna go insane. Like you can probably day trade that one, like all the other IPOs that went on. Like I think one was like OP or something like that, Ocean Pal. Yeah, this one went insane. Uh, like it had a lot of range. So and then this one went up in the after hours too, I remember. So this one went up, yeah, 116% or some crap like that in the after hours. So the way to play IPOs is you can really day trade these guys since they have really good range. I even day traded some of the IPO stocks on a Discord with everyone else. I forgot which one it was, but I was in and out very quick. Is CNTX done? CNTX, I think this one is going to be due for another run up, if I'm completely honest with you guys, because they're going to be closing their offering, I think, tomorrow. So this one is probably might set up for a good day trade as well, or even a potential swing into the catalyst. So the only thing I don't like is this really long candle. So it looks like it might just be setting up for a dead cat bounce, if anything. Like you could probably get in this and get a quick 20%, and then you could let the rest ride if you wanted to hold through the catalyst. But I know that a lot of people don't. But I think CNTX, still, you could even play this gap, right? A lot of people like gaps, because gaps need to be, well, they don't have to be filled, but more often than not they do. So you could even play that gap fill, and that would be about a 20, yeah, 30% gain. So CNTX, I don't think it's completely done. There's probably still a chance on it. And then Limitless Strength 668 is ARDX, still good to get in. It's really up to you. My average is pretty close. I think my average was about 157. I think I bought this in the after hours, so I could be going red on this on Monday. Who knows? But I kind of trust my analysis on ARDX. From a fundamental point of view, you could argue a completely bearish case. You can argue a completely bearish case, but you could also argue a completely bullish one. With penny stocks, it goes either way. But we have the volume, we have the options chain, we have the social media sentiment, and I think this is gonna, I'm probably gonna look for a 20 or 40% gain on this one. And green is green, so whatever it is you do, as long as you risk manage, that's all that matters. Let me just take a look at all the other comments here. Oh yeah, I guess we'll talk about PTPI is dilution or risk. I think they already diluted. No, I think they already had an offering. If I'm mistaken, I think they already had an offering. Yeah, so no more dilution for quite a bit. And then you can do a 3-day rule on this too. Is ATNF done? I haven't really looked into ATNF. I know that ATNF is a stock that I think Jason Adair was in. I don't know if he took profit though. I think he was holding. He had this at like I think $4 or something, so he could have sold for 80% gain on ATNF. I don't know why he. Well, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. I guess we'll look at some other tickers while we have the chance here. Let's see. Thoughts on INDP? Yeah, INDP, this is a stock that a lot of us were talking about in the Discord. Well, not me, but I know a lot of you guys were. And the only issue that I have with this stock is the volume. Right, the average volume is about 4 million, and the volume right now is about 300K. So the only reason why for me personally, I didn't go into this is because I don't want to get liquidity gapped down. I could, like, if I bought this and threw in like, maybe 100K, maybe half a mil into this, I could get really bad fills, and then I'll get dumped on or something like that. So yeah. And then I did look at the DD on this. It still looks okay, but you just gotta remember that there are some scary candles in this. There's some scary candles. What I mean by that is, again, we talked about this in stream the other time, where, if you see a long ass candle like that, whenever you see this, means it's not the best. Like, it means that gains are not really being held. And we saw it with CNTX, right? We saw it with CNTX. You look at this huge, yeah, it's like not pretty. Like, yeah, like it's not pretty. The only thing CNTX has going on for it right now is that it has, first of all, has a low float. Short interest probably increased a little bit, and then you have that catalyst. So it could be test $8, if I'm completely honest with you. I don't have a position on it though. Keelan, what do you mean spray and pray options for earnings? So yeah, for this tweet, let me just pull it up here. I made this tweet on Twitter saying that lots of guys on Wall Street bets are doing spray and pray puts for the upcoming earnings to get the next docu type move. So if you guys don't know, oops, let me just go on Reddit. If you guys don't know about the DOCU move, I'll just show you here on Wall Street Bets. Like, literally, if we were to go onto Wall Street Bets, and there's like some gain porn on here probably, unless it's all gone now. Let me just see here. There was just some insane, yeah. So this is an example here. This is another one here. So we'll just show you guys the gain porn, okay? And I know you guys are gonna feel FOMO, because when you see a whole bunch of when you see people making insane gains like that, it's so easy to fall into like the whole mindset of, hey, I want to find the next multi-bagger. I want to find the next insane stock. Okay, whoa, this is 9K to 135. That's insane. So yeah, we'll look at these, and you guys are gonna get like some crazy emotions just by looking at other people's gains. So look at this. Up 2000%, 2000, like 40K into 865K. Like, bro, Like that makes like to the for me, when I see that, I'm like, congrats, but I don't feel anything. But when you have new retail investors or new retail traders, when they see gains like this, they think, oh, I can, if he can do it, I can do it. But you got to keep in mind, like, yes, you can do it, but the chances of it, like DOCO going down 40% is something that it's so rare. It's like a lottery ticket. Like what happening here is a lottery ticket. Like all these guys are winning the lottery. Look, 2K into 50K overnight. Look at these like insane returns, like 1,000%. This guy, $30 into about 2,000 for a 7,000% gain. Do you see what I'm saying here? Like look at this, 7,000%. 30 bucks. That's insane. Here's another one, 9K into 135K, just from buying DOCU puts. So you see these gains. Here's another one, $15 to 3,000. That's a 22,000% gain, dude. That's the highest that I've ever seen on Wall Street bets, other than DFV's gains on GME, right? Let's just look at DFV's real quick, because this guy, if you look at his trading history, it's actually, oh no, sorry, there's a subreddit for him now. If we look at him right here, look at his look at his gains. Hold on. If we scroll down to I think the peak where he had, I think 50 mil, maybe it was right here. Or no, this one was 47, but like, this is insane. Look at this, guys. Like, it's so hard to comprehend these numbers, but 163,000% gain. Dude, that's insane, dude. Like, that's like winning the lottery 5 times in a row. Like, not a lot of people understand how legendary deep fucking value was, because when you look at these gains, like, it's so hard to comprehend, right? We just saw the previous one here, like 22,000 or 7,000%. Like, that's really good. Like, that's still really good. Like 7,000% is insane, but like 160,000%, wow. Like, it makes my skin, gets me some goosebumps a little bit. But this is insane returns, man. That's some, and look, price paid 0.20. Like, dude, that's nuts, man. That's nuts. But yeah, so anyways, with the spray and pray puts, what people are doing is they're buying like out of the money options on puts, and for all these earnings right here, for all these earnings, people are doing that because they want the next DOCU type gains. But just keep in mind, man, it's probably not likely gonna happen again, like this 40% thing, and it's just very unlikely. So if you're gonna do spray and pray puts, like, who knows, these options can be, maybe some of them are cheap. Maybe you can do the whole $15 to, like this guy, for example. What this guy probably did, he probably did $30 into out of the money options, because they're cheap, and then put them into every single stock, and then you can risk manage it that way. So for example, let me just show you what these guys are doing. So let's say you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, there's probably over 50. Okay, so there's probably over 50 earnings calls, maybe. So if you were to put $30 into all of them, what does that give you? I think that's 5 times 3 is 15, and then add 2 zeros. So I think that's $1,000 and $500 that you can potentially say, hey, I'm okay with losing this money. I'm gonna do spray and pray puts, and then one of them has to be a multi-bagger. So So that's that's what people are doing on Wall Street bets for the spray and pray puts. Yeah. Trader O0, thank you for the prime. I still gotta look into that. I don't really know what it does for the channel. Um, yeah, Aquilin asked, same thing happened with Peloton. ASAN, I actually don't know anything about that. Okay. COUP and MDB. Yeah. MMs are gonna create a bunch of, yeah. So man, a lot of these market makers, they're probably gonna find ways to benefit off of these like premiums and stuff and just kind of scalp the options. You know, there's so many ways these guys can make money. I think I saw a comment here on CRTX. Oh, okay. So you miss Easy Target 02 misspoke and said CRTX instead of CNTX. Yeah, CRTX. I honestly think that is trash. Uh, um, and I'm glad I didn't hop into it because I kind of just saw what was the motive here. Obviously, you had this insane gap, and the volume wasn't really there for me. I think there's like some guy on short squeeze that was pumping this. But if you look at like the fundamentals and the data, it really wasn't there. It really wasn't there. There was no hard catalyst going into CRTX, which is the reason why I actually avoided this stock like the plague. And yeah, I know this stock had, I think it had some like FDA issues, but there's no real target date for the next thing. So, you know, you could obviously bottom feed the stock and, you know, trade it for like a 5-10% gain. If it happens to go back to 1150, then, you know, by all means, go for it. This stock is heavily shorted, but for me, I'm probably going to watch this one. Actually, I'll put it on my watch list. And whenever there's a date, if they give you a date, and the problem with the FDA stuff is like there's no like concrete date. For example, with LGVN, right? They had some news. We had no I had no idea. That was just me being lucky. But if there's a hard concrete date, and you gotta look at their social media, look at the Twitter for Cortex look at their website. If you can find a date, you can kind of time it right, because at that point the shorts are gonna be a little bit afraid. They're going to be a little bit afraid because it's 40% shorted, and they're probably gonna try to cover a little bit, going up to that event if there are any. Would it make sense to buy DOCU calls? Nope, I don't think so. It's just my opinion, though. It's just my not financial advice or anything. I don't think this one even reached pre-pandemic lows. When did it start again? 2020 for COVID, or was it? When did COVID start? Let me just Google that real quick. COVID date. When did it start? It wasn't here. I'll look it up with you guys. Maybe we'll go on stream together and look it up on Google. COVID date. Okay, people are saying March 2020. Okay, so yeah, March 2020. Thank you guys. You guys are insane in the chat. You guys know your shit. So March 2020 brings us all the way here at 91 bucks. I probably wouldn't even touch it until we get close to pre-pandemic levels, because this is just an overextension. All of this is an overextension. That's the only place that I would even think about buying, is if it goes back to pre-pandemic lows. And obviously Kathy Wood loves the stock, and she is utterly red, bro. This is her second position, I think. Let me just see. RK. Oops. Maybe we'll go to RK trades. I think this is her second most. Yeah, her second biggest holding. Ooh, look at that cost average, 163. Man, she's red as fuck, dude. Let me just see. 163 would be about right here, and then so she lost about, so she's down 20%. Oh, that was T-Doc. Oh, my bad. Oh, maybe she doesn't have a position on DOCU yet. Then sorry, I completely mixed those two up. Uh, Maybe she doesn't have a position on this. Oh no, she does. It's her 19th position, and we don't. Well, actually, I think she's down on T-Doc as well. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, she's hard red on T-Doc as well. Sorry, that's I mix these up quite often. Sorry, guys. Yeah, T-Doc's the one. I mix those two up, T-Doc and DOCU. Sorry, guys. Thanks for correcting me there. But yeah, she does have a position in DOCU. I don't know what her cost average is though, but yeah, she's hard. She's even more red on Teladoc, dude. That's what is that? Let me just calculate it here. So if she has a 163 average, that puts up us about right here. Ugh, she's down 44%. Nasty, bro. That's nasty. Ooh, that's gross. And the problem with these, the problem with having, okay, one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that retail has the advantage in some stocks, and the reason why I say that is because it's very hard for these institutions to unload on everything. Like imagine Tesla completely liquidating all of her stocks. Like if she were to unload, she has to, like she's gonna tank it so hard. So it's very hard for these institutions to scale out of positions. The weird thing about Kathy that I don't really agree with her. I know she's selling Tesla stock, but it's like, why would you do that? Like you can probably hang on to this for quite a bit, but I mean, she is managing her position size. She's managing everything. So I don't know what the fuck she's thinking half the time. And then she's red on Palantir as well. So she's bag holding that shit. Oh yeah, she's buying as well. Yeah, so she's buying as well. So what my plan is for these stocks, and I've done this in the past. I've done this in the past before for any Kathy stocks. Cause this is what I did with TSP actually. I did this one with TSP. This was one of the first short squeeze stocks that I've ever done, and the hedge fund that I helped squeeze, I guess. Well, I didn't help squeeze it, but they ended up blocking me, man. It was Research Grizzly. Let me just see if they still blocked me. Yeah, so this guys they blocked me because I called them out, and I called them out that they were getting squeezed, and literally Kathy Wood was single-handedly squeezing them. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy as well, because if Kathy Wood's gonna squeeze them, I'm just gonna be in it for the ride. And then for TSP, actually, I rode this one up from this low right here. Yeah, they were getting squeezed, and then I called them out on Twitter, because they dropped a short report around this area for TSP. So I saw Kathy Wood buying, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in, and I had a nice like 70% gain on the stock. So you gotta keep an eye on stuff like that because it's free money. Like whenever these short report people make a short report, they will tank a stock pretty much artificially, and then you can load up on the dip. But yeah, Research Grizzly, they're so bad, man. They lost on their most recent one on MP Materials. So I think when they released it, it was probably this red candle, and then boom, they got fucking squeezed. So, oh man, it's just hilarious, dude. So a new one came out. Yes, I have been keeping eyes on them. They released a one on Solana, I think. Was it Solana? It's that I think, wait, let me just see here. News. I think I have it here. Short reports. Um, Research Grizzly. Oh, it's Rene Sola. So I was quickly going through this one, and this I imagine it's gonna play the same way. So the ticker for this one is SOL. So after they released that short report, look at this, boom, and then their short report is hilarious, dude. It's like most projects never existed. So it's kind of funny. Like, and then you have, oh man, it's just a mess. But what I want to do next for this stock is I'm gonna let the bleed bleed, and then I'm probably gonna look into, what other companies are bullish on Renee Sola, because what ends up happening is after the short report is released, that becomes priced in until it gets to the point where the only case is the bullish case, and then it goes up from there. So, this stock could be potentially on sale, but I'm not going to jump into it yet because there's just so much FUD. Probably maybe like 3 day rule or something. And then if I see a key institutional investor, maybe someone like Kathy, maybe someone like Morgan Stanley or BlackRock, if they're loading up on shares, then I will ride that. I will ride that and get some free money. Anyways, we kind of got off track there. Let me just see what we like. I don't even know how we got here from talking about Kathy Wood. Uh, Let me just kind of backtrack here. Where were we? We were talking about DOCU. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember someone asked for DOCU calls when would be an ideal time to load up on calls for DOCU. My opinion would be towards pre-pandemic areas, and then you can kind of buy leaps from there. Um, yeah. Have you heard of Chegg? Yes, Chegg. That's actually on my watch list. Yep, it's on my watch list right here. So this one is insider buying. I'm probably gonna buy this one. If I don't want anything volatile, I think this one is a safe. It's a safe stock. It's holding up well even with market conditions. It has a lot of attention right now. Volume is now above average volume. So the way I'm gonna play this is probably gonna trade the breakout of either $30 or I'll let it dip back a little bit to the $25 level. But yeah, this one is a really good stock because for this stock, you gotta keep in mind, man. Like, I don't know if you guys heard of Chegg, but when I was in university, I looked at Chegg. Like every student knows about this. Like dumb students will never go away. Like everyone is gonna need help. Like everyone wants to um like I don't know how to explain it, but Chegg is not going anywhere. Chegg is not going anywhere. So I think it's kind of a steal at these prices too. When with the institutionals loading up, it's like, hey, count me in and look at that gap, guys. That gap has to be filled eventually. And if it were to fill that, it's almost 100% gain from the current levels that we're trading at. So I see that as a steal, and even now you could buy it and then use $24 as a risk. So, what did I study at uni? I was in the sciences actually. Yeah. Um, okay. So I think we'll see if there's any other stocks here. Um, I think you guys, just a heads up, you might get an ad in about 3 minutes because it's going up to the 1 hour mark. Um, so let's just take a look at some other things real quick here. You guys can. Oh, RBLX. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. I think this one was. I haven't watched this one, but I think it was tanking. No, had a nice run up and then it's all of a sudden tanking. I know Kathy Wood holds this stock as well. Um, from a technical point of view, I don't think I would buy this. It just kind of has that bull flaggy look to it, especially right here. Um, I'll just quickly go over that, what I mean by that. Um, so obviously, like technical analysis is, some people say it's like astrology, doesn't really matter, but I think it kind of matters a little bit. So whenever you see a stock that's like, it's going down or something like that, what ends up happening is like this is like a bull flag. There's this area right here is called a bull flag. It's kind of like stair stepping down. So whenever you see that, so is it's this is what I'm seeing here. So it might go down again here. So it goes like this, and then the stock goes like this. It has this like little dead cat bounce, and then it goes back down, or it goes further down, and it goes like that, and then it goes down. So this, it's kind of like the same thing as a bull flag, where we know it stair steps up, but then when you look at it closer, it's like this, and then people will like, you know, do some TA random shit like that, and then it goes up. So for Roblox, I'm just kind of a little bit afraid of this tanking down. So I wouldn't, in my opinion, buy this one. Skills, have you gone over it? Nope, not yet. I'm waiting for Kathy Wood to buy this one. I've been keeping track of her trades because right now we are in an area of interest. Like I really like this $8 level. And we kind of broke past it a little bit, but I want to see Kathy Wood buy. So as soon as Kathy Wood buys, I think that's when I'm gonna buy as well. Cause you know when she buys, she throws in like millions, and she hasn't bought skills in quite a bit. Um, so all you gotta do is go to Arc Trades and then type in the combined holding. So the last time she bought was November 18th. And whenever she buys, it's gonna be like in consecutive days. So I think as soon as she buys, that's when I buy. Um, you loaded skills at 798. Nice. You got in under $8, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Did you guys get an ad? I'm wondering, because we're above 1 hour now. And I think my setting is, the lowest setting is an ad every 1 hour or some shit like that. You have not? Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay. Um, oh, you have ad block. Wonderful. Yeah, yeah. If you're watching this stream, you can do ad block. I don't give a fuck about the money. I just want to get verified. Okay. But yeah, so for skills, I'm watching this very carefully. Um, I am watching this very carefully. I'm waiting for Kathy Wood to see if she's gonna protect, because these institutions, right, they have to protect their position, or they're going to end up going red. Uh, so whenever she buys, it's gonna be like consecutive days of buying. So she bought on the 17th, which means she's gonna buy for the next consecutive days. So I'm waiting for that. And then for PLTR, yes, I'm seeing some comments here on PLTR. I love the stock. I'm waiting for this one to actually hit $17. So that's where I'm probably gonna buy. And this one has good liquidity, 56 mil. So I'm probably gonna toss, you know, probably toss a mil into this if it hits 17, just to kind of get that bottom, and then I'll probably sell out when it goes to around the $20 range. So, and I think, let me just pull up the other technicals here. If everything lines up, I'm completely fine with it. Yeah, so we're oversold on the RSI, and the MACD is starting to, you know, it's starting to curl just a little bit. But it's like kind of not decided yet. But yeah, I think the $17 mark is beautiful. Is beautiful. Yeah. Um, any other stocks that you guys want to kind of look over? We're probably gonna end the stream soon, maybe in like 10 minutes or so. Axela. Okay, Baron Nelly asks Axela. So yeah, Axela's this is also a good swing trading stock. It's starting to reach this level here. I really don't think that this stock is gonna break a dollar. Like, you could probably trade this for like a couple percent. Okay, you guys got an ad this time. Okay, yeah, yeah, I'll wait. I'll wait until the ad stops. We'll wait until the ad goes. Is the ad gone now? Ad's done now? Okay, thank you, DebTrub79. Is the ad done for everyone else? Okay. Um, okay, that's good. Okay, yeah, as I was saying for Axla, I think someone's mentioned the stock. So yeah, this one's a really good day trading stock, because it really respects like the RSI. Like this one is, in my opinion, it's one of like the noob stocks. Like what I mean by noob stocks is like it follows the indicators very well, especially the RSI. So whenever this is like oversold on the RSI, it tends to bounce up if you're in good market conditions. For RSI, a lot of novices use this one. I mean, I still use it because I use the indicators that uh, the general population like to look at. So for this one, I think I would even buy this right now just for a swing trade. Like you could get probably 5, 10, easy 5 to 10% on this, but you have to look at if there's any upcoming news, because if there's something bearish, it will break $1, and once it breaks $1, I wouldn't be surprised if this tests 50 cent area. Yeah, E97, low RSI means oversold, yes. So, yeah, and this one, the volume isn't that bad. It's like 12.61 mil. Obviously, you're a little below average volume, but still, yeah. And yeah, there are a lot of back holders in this one, so that's why you gotta get in and then you gotta get out. Uh, and what else is there here? SoFi. Yeah, SoFi it's another good one. I'm probably gonna, oh, it actually reached this area here. Yeah, so it started to reach this area of support. So, this one could be a buy as well. But you got to keep in mind that you have to watch, you really have to watch the market. So watch the SPY. You can even watch the Dow Jones, watch NASDAQ, watch IWM. Oh, IWM is looking really nice right now. So it looks like it's going to be bouncing off here. So all of the small cap stocks are probably going to see some really nice gains, but it really depends on the whole COVID stuff, right? So yeah, SoFi looks like it's going to be on a discount, and then we'll look at PLBY, and then we'll look at Zim and GME. And yes, I have talked about INDP headache. We said that one was just some low volume, so I didn't like it based on that. We'll look at PLBY. So PLBY, man, I think this stock is gonna be a home run for a swing. Like if you're gonna buy this, expect to hold this one. Like for this stock, I would probably like tell my brother I'd tell my brother to buy this. I would, just because you have so many things going on for this company, right? During this downtrend, I think it was like acquiring a whole bunch of companies, and they're fixing their balance sheet and all that stuff. And then not many people realize that, and then earnings happened, and then people finally realized that, hey, Playboy is not the Playboy that it once was. So I really feel that Playboy is gonna retest all-time highs. Maybe not in this market condition, it really depends. But I think it's coming soon, because they had that whole thing with Centerfold, and Cardi B is, one of the people in it. And we know Cardi B is very, very famous, very popular. And Playboy is, very smart in using her as a partner. But yeah, for Playboy, you could probably just buy this and kind of forget about it. Like, this thing has really good support in the 33, 32 area. If it goes there, I'm probably going to open up a position. And then GME, yeah, GME, I think the loading zone for GME is 150. The only thing for GME, unfortunately, is it has earnings coming up. And if we look at the chart, every time it has earnings, it tanks. And then here earnings, and then it tanks, and then earnings, and then it tanks. Hedge funds are all over on this one. But I think 150 is a good area for me to load up on, maybe even 136, but it really depends. I don't want to buy this after or before earnings, probably a couple of days after earnings. And then yeah. Oh, Zim. Zim, I don't know anything about this stock too much. I know that this is a Vitard stock, so if you want for due diligence purposes, you can probably look into it there. They'll know much more about it. I don't know if I would personally buy this stock though, for me, just because I don't know about it. And let's just see Chewy. I think Chewy is one of those stocks that people are doing the spray and pray puts on. They want this to be the next docu. So yeah, just be careful with Chewy. Sony launching PlayStation competitor to Xbox Game Pass. Does Sony have a stock on Nasdaq or no? Maybe they're traded on like the Hong Kong exchange or something, or some shit like that. Oh, they are, and it's just straight up Sony. Oh, that's some bad volume though. 653 only. Still above, but I don't know. I don't think I would touch Sony for some reason. I do like their products though, but for a stock point of view, I don't know. Oh, it's a Japanese company? Tokyo? Yeah. Yeah, Tokyo, Japanese, all of those really good companies, man. Even their cars, right? Like Honda Civics, Toyotas, they all really last a very, very long time, and they hold their value over time. Let me just see what other things here. Yeah. Oh yeah, Nintendo. Nintendo's a good one too. Oh yeah, GGPI. Yes, GGPI. This one's loading zoned potentially. It broke through the $12 barrier, which is not a good look. But it seems like the EV sector is just kind of cooling down a little bit. Unfortunately, I feel like this could test 11 and then potentially the $10 mark. First time chat viewer, maybe for YouTube content, could you go over strategies for making money during a bear market like the '08 crash? Probably just puts on everything, dude. Spray and pray puts, not financial advice. But actually, in a bear market, what you want to do is load up on those blue chip stocks. Like wait for them to find a bottom, and then buy them. Or even bank stocks, man. Bank stocks are a really good one. I don't know how many of you are Canadian, but there's a lot of good bank stocks like TD. I think RBC was one. Where is it? I don't know what their stock is. There's BMO. All of these stocks, whenever there's a crash, they go up quickly. So I think this one was the COVID one, right? So bank stocks are really good stocks in a bear market. And you know for a fact that they're gonna go up, up and up because bank stocks, like, it's banks that own them, dude. Are your indicators for day trades or swings? Asks by Desiree 1078. Yeah, so for my indicators, it can be used for both, but for me, the indicators that I use, it's very, very simplified. Sometimes I even turn off these like EMA, MA. I could probably turn this off. Like I just do it sometimes. But generally the idea was when you're doing chart analysis, if you have to look like this is not financial advice or anything, but this is just how I see things, is that if it takes you more than a second to see what the chart is trying to tell you, it's probably not a good idea. Cause like I don't know. There's like this one saying where it's like the more you look, the harder it is to find. Some crazy wisdom saying. I forgot how it actually goes, but that's the way I look at TA for chart analysis. Like a lot of people will do like these Fibonacci stuff, this SARS indicator, like super trend. I don't even know what that is. Like you have a whole bunch of indicators here, right? And I remember when I was a beginner, I was like using every single one of them, like trying to turn all of them on. And then what ends up happening is like it's all cluttered, and then you don't know what you're looking at anymore. So I like to make my chart analysis a little bit more basic. So yeah. I guess we're just gonna stop the stream right there. We're just over an hour now, so I wasn't planning to go that long, but anyways, hopefully you guys learned something new. And then I'll see you guys in the next one.